doing the right things won't matter if you're out of business doing it. So that actually has to be protected. Stop and think for a minute. All this talk about doing the right thing, about saving the environment, about buying sustainable shoes, which start doing that these days, all that talk is irrelevant if business cannot thrive, right? The profits, the third P of business case, the profitability is actually the most essential part of all this, because doing the right things won't matter if you're out of business doing it. So that actually has to be protected. And actually it gets better. What if I told you that there was this seminar for the next 5 minutes touching on points that showed resilience, you can say both words too, and adaptability, providing a competitive edge. And that was the only topic at hand. You'd be like, I'm cool, I need a competitive edge. Yeah, sure. I'm always willing to listen to somebody who has tips on how to improve my business, or at least improve the financial resilience of my business. Which business doesn't want that, right? We all do. It just so happens to also be a path towards a more sustainable business, which I think is pretty cool. And at the core, it's basic economics. Better resource management is cost savings. And that's just the start, by the way. So these next couple of minutes, as I mentioned, could be a multiple day talk, really. There's a lot here, but I want to go over very briefly some points, some examples. If you own land, or if you grow grapes, viticulturally speaking, you know those the carbon farming, regenerative farming, the feel good, like I want to have healthy biota in my soil, and I want to have all that stuff, right? It's actually saves you money if you're a farmer. How so? Well, if you increase the soil health, you increase the life in your soil, you increase the carbon. A richer soil retains water more efficiently. That reduces your water costs, which are actually also energy costs, which are also just flat out costs. It decreases your fertilizer use because your soils are healthy. You don't need to fertilize as much, or fertigate, whichever term you want to use. And it increases your resilience on heat days. And we know that California, Oregon, Washington, we're getting... Did you see the news in Portland and Seattle a few months ago? Crossing 100 degrees. How do you think the vines fared? So, yeah, that's a fascinating way to actually save you money. By carbon farming, or the fancier term, not fancier, pardon me, the more effective term these days is regenerative farming. If you have a winery, my gosh, energy management is huge. As an example, if you take if 150,000 case production winery, on average, your electricity costs are about 71 cents per gallon, on average. Some people are 71 cents per gallon. There's costs embedded in your wine and in your spirits, of course. If you just take a look at one area of opportunity, refrigeration, which is oftentimes the biggest sink of your energy use. It's some things as simple as glycol tank insulation, installing a variable frequency drive in your glycol pumps. They often return their ROI and have an ROI of 6 to 18 months. Regular machine maintenance, checking your scaling for on the evaporative condensers, that increases the efficiency of your equipment and the lifespan of your equipment, right? Investing in audits, energy audits, sometimes uncovers that at night your stuff is working harder than it needs to. And equipment cycling on and off unnecessarily. Sometimes hot water temperature, what you need to sanitize is about 160, 180, right? You don't need that for every every moment, so you can draw down your water temperature by down 120, 140. That saves you thousands on natural gas. If you were to take, most audits have discovered that they can take about 15 to 20% off of your energy, not just like that, but with simple steps that are actionable steps. Saves you about 20% of energy savings. That's about $30 to $40, maybe $50,000 of your energy bill for a winery of 150,000 case production. I think it's pretty cool.